What up, guys? Just just to let y'all know, super sorry about the loop thing that happens sometimes on my detective. It's when I do an Adobe Premiere Pro. Like for some reason, like I rewatch it and I don't hear it. I don't know if it's how it exports from YouTube that does the loop, but I'ma mess with the settings and please be patient with me. We'll get through. I'll eventually know how to fix it. But thank you for watching. Thank you for all the love on the Detective Conan videos. And I promise y'all, I'm gonna watch when the dub is over. I'm gonna watch the sub, and I just wanna, it's the dub's not that long. It's just might as well. And I like the characters. I know a lot of people don't, but I mean, it's good to me. And don't worry, I'm not gonna stop watching. I'm every anime I'm reacting to, I'm gonna finish. And sorry for like trust me, like I'm not gonna be like those YouTubers that like post like once a week, or maybe something's going on in their life, but like I'm not gonna do that. And the only reason, like the longest I won't post would be maybe like a day or 2 days, maybe 3 days. But in my mind, I can't do that. Like I can't. I need to do it every single day for y'all. And if I'm like feeling, like I got a lot bunch of life problems, and like and my health too. I'll do like if I'm feeling like that, I still post every day, like 3 4 videos. But I'm always gonna like post every day my best abilities. So that's enough of that. Thank you. Let's start watching.
I don't detect a change in body
Wow,
temperature,
right
so
to
the
the
time of
point.
death was most likely just minutes ago.
This tape, there's approximately 5 minutes and 30 seconds of silence at the beginning.
I remember
Inspector
tapes.
McGuire, I found something written on the floor over here.
What?
What the AF?
Is that a piece of music?
It could be another message left by the victim before he croaked.
I don't think
Nice
so.
handwriting.
This took time to write. If the victim had enough time to write this message in his own blood, then he would have tried to call for help. I
Yeah.
believe the killer is trying to leave us a message.
Don't be smart.
Bro. Oh, yo. Dude, you're the one that smacked the little kid, bitch.
Whew, good, it's dry.
Child
Now,
abuse?
scram, kid, you're getting in the way of the investigation.
Fine.
All right, everyone. Judging from the fact that Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata was heard playing after each victim was killed, as well as some other things we've uncovered, it's safe to say that these two most recent murders, both
God
Mr.
damn.
Kavanaugh and Mr. Kinsella, were committed in a very similar fashion by the same person.
With the
The
mouths
amount of
open
time
like in
elapsed on
shock.
the tape we found near Mr. Kinsella's body leads us to believe that he was killed only minutes before we found him, around 6:30. In simpler terms, anyone who was in City Hall at that time can consider themselves a suspect in 2 murders. Excluding Detective Moore and the others, first on the scene was Mr. Nicholson, then Dr. Nadia Adams, who examined the body. Mr. Kevin Hadley, assistant to the last victim, Mr. Kinsella. Mayor
Yeah.
Kinsella's daughter, Ms. Renee Kinsella, and her
She's
fiancé,
sus.
Mr. Stephen Mulholland.
And the fiance sus.
And candidate for mayor, Mr. Matthew Schumacher.
And he's sweating too much.
You can't possibly consider me
Oh
to
my
be a suspect.
God.
Did you forget I was being interrogated by you when my father was killed?
She's annoying.
You know, she is right, Inspector. We were questioning her then.
Then wouldn't it be the same for Dr. Adams? We've been by her side since about 6 o'clock. Isn't that right, Conan?
Yup.
Well, then that leaves us with the 4
Yeah.
gentlemen as our remaining suspects.
Inspector, sir, I haven't
He was
left
there
this
too.
floor since 6 p.m. I swear on it.
You got a witness that can back that story up?
Me?
You all saw me here. Please tell the man I had nothing to do with it.
Sorry, I was in the restroom when everything happened. The kid
Oh.
saw me.
What about you there, Mr.
True.
Nicholson? You
He
were
was-
the first on the scene to discover Mr. Kinsella's body. Now tell me, Ken, what exactly were you doing there?
He was being creepy.
Kinsella told me to meet him there to discuss something.
So you were the one who stuck the knife in his back, weren't you?
No,
He didn't
not
do it.
me.
Schumacher
No.
did it. My father and Kavanaugh are dead and out of the election now. That leaves the position wide open for Schumacher to roll in uncontested.
Maybe him.
Conan, what is that you're reading there?
It's the music that the killer wrote down at the scene of the crime. I'm almost certain that it's a coded message. I can make out a few bars, but the rest is fuzzy. I wonder if these sharps and flats are part of the code.
As far as the piano goes, those are the black keys.
Ah,
I'm sure of it.
piano keys.
I don't know shit
Look,
about
do whatever you have to. Just catch this madman before he tries to kill
Hey,
us.
wait, I think I figured something out.
Conan?
It's an easy code now that I know where to start. All he did was write down the alphabet on the piano's keyboard, and using one letter per key, he was able to plug in each note from the song to create a logical message for us. With that in mind, I'll read from the music sheet that was left at Mr. Kavanaugh's murder site.
Why is he shitting
You
himself?
know who's next? The killing has just begun.
Oh my god.
Wow, Conan, that was brilliant.
Yeah, well, what about the music we found left in blood?
Let's see. The firestorm grudge has been avenged.
Did he say the firestorm grudge?
What?
He must mean the man who committed suicide in the fire.
He looks cool though.
It's him! Casper Austin is still alive!
Dude, calm the fuck
He's not
down.
alive. When we recovered the body after the fire, his dental records checked out. There's no doubt that he is dead. Basically, everything in that house was destroyed by the fire, except one thing. He had stored some music sheets in a fireproof safe he kept in his office.
Oh god, sus.
I knew you were hiding something. Where are they?
Yeah,
In the
he's sus.
community hall storage. But if I'm not mistaken, I think the key is in the police station. Well, I wanted to hurry up and find the darn key, sir.
He didn't do it, but
Policeman, wait for me! I'll go with
Wait,
you!
Conan.
Did that Mr. Austin really light his house on fire all by himself?
Oh, well, then there were 4 witnesses that said he did it. Former Mayor Kirkpatrick, his successor, Mr. Kinsella, then Mr. Nicholson, and Mr. Kavanaugh.
he's next. That
Any
crazy
connection between them?
psychopath,
Including Mr.
ugly
Austin. They
dude.
were all classmates together in school.
Then what about Mr. Mulholland? Is he in their circle of friends too?
Oh, that guy? He came strolling into the township around 3 years ago, I think. In fact, just the other day, he got engaged to Renee Kinsella, but I heard that her father, Theodore, opposed it.
What about
Oh.
Mr. Kinsella's assistant, Kevin Hadley?
He's a strange one, all right. Never really gotten to know him. I don't know what he's doing, but he's always having late-night meetings with Mr. Kavanaugh at the community hall.
And what about Mr. Schumacher?
He's very popular with the fishermen. They say he's a fighter for justice. Well, Mr. Detective, is there anything else you'd like to ask me?
I should be writing this
but
down.
not quite yet.
No, that's funny. I'm positive I put him over here somewhere.
My brain's
Come on.
working.
He's been searching around for over an hour now.
Dude, this guy's sus though, man.
Hey, look at here. I found it. The key to the safe.
Maybe he's just dumb.
Officer?
I mean,
Oh,
but he's
hey,
very
Rachel.
not
You guys
remembers
took so
shit.
long to find that stuff that everyone already went home for the night.
Wait, they let the suspects go home too?
Well, yeah, since the murderer's message that you decoded said that the punishment was fulfilled, everyone just assumed that the killing was over, so Inspector McGuire sent everyone home for the night.
No, there's still one
Idiots.
guy.
Up to now, only the first 2 movements of Moonlight Sonata have been played. But there's still one more movement, which
Yeah.
means there's going to be one more murder.
I'm sorry, Rachel,
Yeah.
but I have to get out of here.
Huh? Conan, wait up! Where are you running off to now?
I'm out here like acting like I'm smart, but like they literally like
You need to
threw it
learn
in
how
our
to take your
face.
time, Conan.
Hurry, unlock it!
Please don't rush me.
Did anyone
Chill.
hear that sound coming from the piano room?
Huh? Hear what?
Please let it be the psychopath. The dude that's just a little bit too crazy. Oh, there he is.
Hold it! Mr. Mulholland? Rachel, no!
Rachel, the Rachel babe. What the?
Is that Mr. Nicholson? Officer, notify Inspector McGuire.
You got it.
I'll bet that tape has the 3rd movement on it. The tape is 30 minutes long on each side, which means that Mr. Nicholson died in the last half hour.
Conan, look there! There's some more sheet music below his feet.
Mr. Nicholson died, and then did the fiance's probably injured?
So what does it say this time?
Suicide note.
Suicide?
What?
So he
Bitch,
did
what?
himself in, eh?
According to this note, he killed himself and takes responsibility for killing Kavanaugh and Kinsella.
I was right. It was him.
It says
No.
that his motive for killing the men was to silence them about some criminal activity they took part in. When he says they, he is referring to himself as well as Mr. Kirkpatrick, who was killed 2 years ago. Our two most recent victims, Kavanaugh and Kinsella, and Austin, who died in a fire 12 years ago.
Wait, the pianist was
What?
involved?
They
Doesn't
were
make
probably
sense.
using this secret code as a secure line of communication.
So Nicholson was afraid their criminal past was going to be exposed. That's why he came to this storage room to trash the incriminating sheet music. However, he wasn't able to find them and decided to use the easiest way out.
I don't think it's a suicide.
Yeah, me neither.
To hang yourself, you need something to step on to get the noose around your neck.
Or maybe you hid it to better
Wow.
serve your story.
You
Dude,
know
what
I
an
wouldn't
idiot.
do that. Besides, if it was suicide, then why would he go through the trouble of writing the note in secret code?
Well, if that's
True.
the case, then we're not any closer to catching the murderer.
I saw someone suspicious.
You did?
Two of them actually in the piano room. One jumped out the window and escaped. The other guy is that Stephen Mulholland fellow. He was conked on the head pretty bad, so I called Dr. Adams. She's taking care of him right now in the piano
Oh,
room.
he didn't try. Bro, why did he keep on doing my?
Why didn't you say that earlier?
Dude, yeah, for real, yo. We should need to chill, dude.
Casper Austin's music sheets.
Somebody needs to knock him out.
Inspector, they filed these away 12 years ago, before there was even a filing system.
That's child
Doc,
abuse.
he hasn't regained consciousness?
No, not yet. I'm afraid he may have a serious concussion.
Now tell me, Miss Kinsella, do you have any idea as to what your fiancé was doing here at
Stop
a
crying,
time
he's
like
sketchy.
this?
I haven't the slightest clue, Inspector.
Damn. Y'all saw that?
What's this?
Uh-huh.
Don't touch that. It doesn't belong to you.
What is that you're holding?
I don't know. It's Steven's. He carries it around with him everywhere.
That's a tuning hammer for tuning a piano. But does that make him the one?
Bitch, what?
All right, gather all the suspects at City Hall and step on it.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to.
Conan, what are you doing? We're heading over to City Hall.
When I came in here earlier, that guy who jumped out the window was under the piano looking for something. Look, I found it.
Wow, what's this? A secret compartment?
Crack?
Narcotics.
Yeah.
Now it's starting to make sense.
Oh, drugs.
From the evidence we've gathered, there is no doubt that the same person has committed these 3 murders. 2 of you have alibis that check out. Dr. Adams and Miss Kinsella, you'll be removed from the suspects list. The rest of you are still suspects, including you, Mr. Hadley, and even you, Mr. Schumacher.
I thought he's the one that died.
And of course, there is
What?
Mr. Mulholland, who is resting back at the clinic. I'm confident now that one of you is our killer. Dr. Adams, is there any change in Mr. Mulholland's condition?
No, Miss Kinsella is with him now, but I don't expect him to wake up for a while.
Something just doesn't seem right here.
It's my
Something
detective face.
obvious. It's been bugging me since we found the code in blood on the floor.
Come on.
Something's off.
Inspector, the photographs from the Kinsella murder scene have come back.
All right, line them up on the desk then, please.
This is gonna tell me. This is gonna help me solve it. Let me see.
What is that little red light shining above Kinsella's shoulder?
Yeah, what's
I don't
that
even
shit
see
on
it
him?
in the next photo.
A sniper?
Excuse me, Inspector. All this standing around has made me thirsty. Mind if I buy a soda?
His hand? What's up with his
Yeah,
hand?
don't be gone long.
Hadley hurt his hand. It wasn't like that earlier.
The window?
Hey,
He broke the
mister.
window.
You've got some powdered sugar on your sleeve. Wow, you have a lot of foreign money there.
Yes, I like to travel as much as I can.
Sketchy ass bitch. You know what? This old guy's
Officer,
funny.
what's the matter?
Maybe when he be dead, kill him. It's
Music
cool.
sheets Mr. Austin left.
Let me see.
To my beloved son, Simon?
Casper had a son?
Oh,
This
yes.
one?
Now that I think of it, I believe Mr. Austin had a son as well as a daughter. His son basically lived in a hospital with an illness at a very early age. I think his name was Simon, if I'm not mistaken.
Simon.
Who's Simon?
Couldn't be.
Hold up. Come on. Shit, he found out.
Where do you think you're going?
I don't know. What's going on?
I see what he did now. It all makes sense. Why the murderer had to bring Mr. Kavanaugh's body up to the piano room after drowning him. The meaning of the music that played at the scene of the crimes. and the mysterious code that was written in blood. There's no doubt about it now. I know who the murderer is.
Son of a... Damn, Jimmy. I mean, Conan.
Detective
I don't know
Moore
what I
received
should
a
call him.
cryptic letter a week ago, and we headed for Moonlight Island to investigate. The letter was signed by Casper Austin, a famous concert pianist who 12 years ago killed his family, set fire to his house, and played Moonlight Sonata until the flames consumed him. This case's first murder occurred on the night of a memorial service for Moonlight's last mayor, Mr. Kirkpatrick. That evening, the body of Henry Kavanaugh was found in the piano room while the first movement of Moonlight Sonata was heard. The second death was current mayor Theodore Kinsella. Once again, the body was found accompanied by the sounds of Moonlight Sonata. This time, the second movement. Ken Nicholson was the third victim, but this time it was staged to look like a suicide. To my beloved son?
Simon.
Simon?
Simon.
I see what he did now. It all makes sense. Why the murderer had to bring Mr. Kavanaugh's body up to the piano room after drowning him. The meaning of the music that played at the scene of the crimes. And the mysterious code that was written in blood.
I'm a fucking
There's
idiot.
no doubt about it now. I know who the murderer is.
Didn't we just see this?
Conan, I can't keep up with you if you insist on running everywhere. What are you doing in the PA room anyway?
Oh, nothing.
He's gonna knock him
No
out
other
again.
choice. I have to use my bow tie voice emulator again.
The sleeping
Time to go to
detective.
sleep, Richard.
Someone told me in the comments. Thank
So
you.
tomorrow, I want Mr. Hadley and Mr. Schumacher down at headquarters bright and early for further questioning.
I want to hear this. I'm
Joking. I
intrigued.
wish I were, because now I have 3 stis to deal with once I get back to the station. And to make matters worse, I have 1 drowning victim who was very affluent on the island. I've got 1 stabbing victim who was in charge of running this entire
I gotta make an
township.
educational
And now
guess.
I have a hanging victim, and I'm no closer to catching who did it. So, do you want to ask me again if I'm joking, Mr. Hadley?
The
Now,
dude
the
that
only 3 who
has a
do
messed
not
up
have
hand.
an alibi that checks out are you 2 and that Mr. Mulholland who is being treated at the clinic right now. I'm sorry, but you will all have to be put under police surveillance tonight.
Inspector, I believe I've solved this mystery, and I think you'll be pleased with what I have to say, McGuire.
What's my dad doing in the PA room?
And I'm calling the
First of
son
all, the
is that
person
crazy dude
responsible
with
for
spiky
knocking
hair.
out Mr. Mulholland in the piano room is none other than Mr. Hadley, is it not?
It's you?
If you would take a look at his left hand, you'll notice that it has a fresh bandage covering it.
Why would he
He
put
wounded
that
that
back?
hand when he jumped through the window to escape.
Yeah, but what was he doing in there?
Mr. Hadley was making a business deal with Mr. Mulholland in the piano room, a narcotics deal.
What? Narcotics?
Mr. Hadley hides the imported narcotics he's purchased in the piano's secret compartment until he can distribute it throughout the island for big money.
Well, that makes sense. I was always wondering why they had so many late-night meetings in the community hall over the years.
Hadley exploited the story of the curse to ensure that the people of the island would be too frightened to approach the piano and discover his crimes. I assume that he knocked Mr. Mulholland unconscious once he was spotted by Conan and escaped with the narcotics.
No, not me.
Which could mean that a drug deal had gone bad and you were forced to drown and kill Mr. Kavanaugh.
No, Inspector. Mr. Hadley has nothing to do with the murders.
What?
If he actually was the murderer, then I couldn't see him choosing the piano room as the scene of the crime, since that's the same room he makes the drug deals in. Next, we have Mr. Mulholland.
Is he our killer?
No, he is not the one either.
Who's Mahalo?
In Nicholson's case, the killer planted a suicide note to make it look authentic, but he was rushed when he heard us enter the building and forgot to put a chair under the body. Mulholland would have passed us on his way to the piano room.
Huh, that makes sense.
What we know of the killer up to now is that it takes strength to execute these crimes. With that in mind, our suspect is a man, one without an alibi.
Then that leaves us with Mr. Schumacher.
No, the other dude that got knocked out.
Second murder comes into play. It was stated before that Mr. Kinsella's body was discovered only a few minutes after his apparent death. But if we look back at the scene, Conan had fallen on the secret code that was written in blood, only it stayed intact and did not smudge. At room temperature, human blood takes approximately 30 minutes to dry on a tiled surface like we have in the PA room. Yet there was no smear when Conan fell on the blood. But Kinsella had supposedly died just minutes before. So the killer manipulated the time of death to make us believe that Kinsella had just passed, when he'd actually been dead for half an hour.
What? That can't be.
Half an hour. So who was
We found with 5.5 minutes of silence at the
who
beginning.
was gone for half an
That's
hour?
part of the manipulation by the murderer. The tape player was put in reverse mode, meaning the tape was started on the blank side and after 30 minutes rolled to the other side. Look at the photos there.
The fiance. He came. Yeah.
Near Mr. Kinsella's neck. If you notice, it disappeared once the body'd been moved. It's proof that the killer was able to slip past police and turn the tape deck off.
Bro,
The
I'm gonna
only
shit
ones
myself
allowed
as
near
a
the
doctor.
body at that time were...
That's right. Other than the police, the
Oh,
only one who was
fuck.
near the body was the team that performed the examination, and that was only one person.
No, I just
You're the only one who could have done this.
This is all a joke, isn't it, Nadia? Tell them you're innocent.
So, Dr. Adams, after drowning Mr. Kavanaugh, you had to drag him up to the piano room to ensure that he was taken to the city for an autopsy, because this island has no facilities for such a procedure. Now, the silence at the beginning of the tape and the music that followed were prepared well beforehand to allow you enough time to kill Kinsella and return without looking suspicious. That's how you were able to report a false time of death from Mr. Kinsella. And
I had a
give yourself
vibe, bro.
sufficient alibi.
But more, you
I had
just
a
got
feeling.
done saying that killer was a man, not a woman.
Yeah.
The motive for these 3 homicides dates back over 12 years.
But...
to the murder of the famous pianist Casper Austin and his family.
Casper Austin was...
Don't tell me this bitch
Those who
killed
were
them
killed,
too.
Kavanaugh, Nicholson, Kinsella, and 2 years ago former Mayor Kirkpatrick.
Oh, he
they were
died.
using Casper Austin's concerts in other countries as a cover to buy narcotics to sell here. One day, Mr. Austin told them he was no longer willing to support their smuggling. Now, the 4 men were afraid that their secret would be revealed, so they locked Austin and his family in their house and burned it to the ground.
Oh, they deserved it.
All of this was written in the code that was contained in the music sheets left in the safe after the fire. It's a lengthy confession that he wrote to his son in his final moments.
His son?
He had a son that was sick with the mumps, living in a nearby hospital at the time of his death. His son's name was Simon.
Simon? I can't. It doesn't make.
Dr.
Simon
Nadia
Paul.
Adams' real name is Simon Austin. He is now Casper Austin's only surviving relative.
What?
That's crazy.
That's the
Adams
dude?
is probably the name of his foster parents that raised him in the city.
How tragic. This whole mess was done to avenge the death of his family.
Inspector, the suspect just escaped.
What? Then find him!
So this whole time I thought
no.
that doctor was hot, and it was a damn dude. Let me know if I'm wrong. Okay, something might have slipped. Oh, she's doing it too?
Father, it's finished. You can rest now.
Simon,
Wow.
it doesn't have to end this way. Here, please look at this. In his final moments, your father left you a message in these music sheets. It says, "I want you to live a long, healthy life, Simon."
That's nice, but I wish I could have
Too
known
late.
it sooner.
What?
Yeah.
You mean you haven't read this before? Then how did you know what happened to your father?
For as long as I can remember, I had doubts about the story surrounding his death. So after medical school, I returned here to the island as a female doctor. My medical license doesn't say if you're male or female, so I chose a woman's name to hide my true identity. But
Oh,
I
shit.
panicked during the suspect questioning. If they had checked, they would have discovered that I'm really a man.
Oh,
That looks
so
creepy.
I see what you were up to now. That's why you spent the night with us in the piano room to push back your interrogation with the inspector.
The house
3
is
years
burning?
ago, I couldn't hold my secret any longer, and I told Mr. Kirkpatrick that I was Casper Austin's son. He immediately started to panic, and I thought he had fainted. Turned out he died of a heart attack right there. It was a few days later at his funeral when I played my father's favorite song, Moonlight Sonata, that I thought all this up. It seemed like a perfect plan then.
Yeah.
Simon, let's get out of here. There's still time.
It's too late for me. My hands are covered in blood now, just like the 3 men I'm responsible for killing. I'm no better than them.
No, you are better than them. No, oh god damn, that's a strong ass dude.
Wait, don't! Let me go!
Yeah, his animation look good right now. What the
Music. It's
fuck?
coming from inside.
It's another secret code. He's playing the piano in the flames, just like his father before him.
Wow, that's sad, bro. Wow, you know what, man? He didn't deserve that. Yo,
Turns
he.
out Stephen Mulholland adored Casper Austin's music. He was the one maintaining the piano the whole time. I was wrong about him. He wasn't making a drug deal when he was attacked. He was
Me
just
too.
tuning the piano.
It's so tragic that Simon died the same way his father did.
That's sad.
I
I'm
am
sad.
curious to know why you chose to send those letters to Dad in the first place.
Somehow I think he wanted us to stop him from committing all those murders.
Conan,
Wow.
what did the secret code say that Simon was playing before he died?
To be perfectly honest, I already forgot.
Hey, I know that face. You know. Tell me.
Um,
Thank you, little detective.
wow. Bro, like, I'm a little choked up. Wow. Wow. Like, damn, I had to catch myself. A tear would have came down. Man, rest in peace, man. Hey, you know what? They deserve that, those killers. And I'm such an idiot. I didn't find out until, like, I didn't realize that the dude with the crazy hair was the one that killed himself. Wow, that was good. Wow. 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 Let me know what that meant in the end. I'm probably dumb, I'm sorry, but I'm a little slow, so let me know. But I mean, like, those words, I couldn't really read them. But wow, that was a really good episode. Wow, and the animation went kicked up. That was cool. All right, anyways, let's check out. There's a preview. Let's see. My bad. No, there's no preview. I mean, not preview. I wasn't looking at preview. Like, the end credit scene. That was a really good episode. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope I fixed the loop. If I didn't fix the loop, I'm gonna keep on trying. All right, guys. I love you. Till next time, y'all the best. And thank you for everyone showing all that love, and, like, thank you for all the new subs. Y'all, welcome to the fam. Thank you. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I post every day. And yeah, y'all the best. Y'all, like, really, y'all amazing. Till next time.